What is going on, everybody? Crazy Dog back with a very special Cleveland Cavaliers free agent target video on this lovely Monday morning. Of course, today is the official start of NBA free agency. And for those wondering, what time does the fun begin? 6 p.m. So yeah, the moment the clock hits 6 p.m., I feel like we're going to see a surge of signings go down right as it starts. It happens every year. Unlike the NFL, where it takes a little bit for things to get going, the NBA, things go down right as the clock strikes 6. And I can't wait. I look forward to NBA free agency every year, even though, let's be honest, the Cavs probably aren't going to be too active simply because they're kind of limited in funds due to the fact that they are a second apron team. But you never know. Koby Altman could finesse a trade and get us under the apron, which would then open up flexibility. And who knows what Koby Altman could do then. But with that being said, as you see on your screen, I have made a tier maker with 3 categories. The first one being might be traded. These are Cavs players that I think, in my opinion, could get traded at some point this offseason. Whether it's to acquire a better player or to open up cap space to sign a big money player. Right? Because that's what we'd have to do. Open up cap space, get under the apron, and be able to sign a player to more than the vet minimum. Because that's all we can do right now. Again, being in the second apron really limits what you can do. That's why I've said the Cavs would have the shackles put on if they don't get out of the second apron by, I believe, today at 6 or when the new league year starts. I'm not exactly sure. But at some point, the shackles will go on and they would have increasing trouble making moves. They would be extremely limited, is what I'm trying to say. It's still early. My brain is barely working. All right, guys. So the second category, bold targets. These are guys that I think the Cavs would be able to go out and possibly get if they made a trade to clear up space and open up flexibility. There's really no other way. Unless we somehow manage to persuade one of these guys to, for some reason, take the vet minimum, which I don't think these guys would do that, but you never know. I mean, the possibility of playing for a championship could get these guys to do some crazy things, right? Take way less money, which would be insane. But hey, they'd have a chance to win a championship in what will be an incredibly weak Eastern Conference due to the fact that Jason Tatum, Tyrese Halliburton, and potentially Dame Lillard will all be out most of, if not the entire season. That's mainly going for Dame. Because we all know Tyrese and Jay Tatum are out for the year. But Dame, I don't know about. He might be back late in the season, but that's doubtful. I think all 3 are going to be out pretty much the entire year. Which is a bummer. But, yeah, man. Injuries. Oy, especially Achilles. And it's all on the same basketball move. What do they call it? The negative step? Same move, same part of the leg, too. Hate to see that. And then, of course, the top category, the logical targets. These are guys that I think the Cavs could sign to the vet minimum. Maybe a little more, but yeah, to the vet minimum. Around there. So, with that being said, let's get underway. As always, guys, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and most important as ever, now, hit that bell so you know when I go live and post new videos. And also, you can become a member for exclusive content and also first dibs on some videos that I post. Because you can do that. You can have it where your members see it first. You want first dibs? Become a member. Because every once in a while, I might do a video like that where my members get first dibs at watching a video. So with that being said, let's get into this video, starting with the players that I think could be traded this offseason by the Cavs. Starting with the player that is most likely to get traded. In fact, I've already seen him in trade articles, and I've already heard that he has actually generated quite a bit of trade interest. Dean Wade. I think of the names in this tier, I think he's the most likely one to get traded. I wouldn't be shocked if after I film this video, I go check my phone and he's traded. I would not be shocked at all. But we'll see. Now, the next likeliest player to get traded, in my opinion, is Max Strus. And just like Dean, I mean, it would clear up a lot of cap space, but it would also open up a starting role on the Cavs, which would probably go to DeAndre Hunter, I'd assume. So, yeah, if they truly think DeAndre Hunter is ready to start, which he's been a sixth man, I think, the last couple of years, and he's been a damn good one at that. If Kenny's willing to sacrifice your sixth man of the year candidate to put him in the starting five, hey, go do it, right? He's damn good. Do it. As long as you can fill that hole open in the sixth man spot, we good. Now, one of the least likeliest players to be traded is Jarrett Allen. I mean, it's possible, but to trade him means you either want to see Evan at the 5, or you better have a damn good option to replace him at the 5. Because he's making a lot of money, but he's also pretty damn good when he's actually locked in and he's not thinking about Pokemon Go. I actually call him Pokemon Go Man because, you know, as you guys have seen in my streams, when he's out there just lollygagging around, not really doing much, I always say he's probably thinking about Pokemon Go because he's also a gamer. Now, by far, the least likeliest player to be traded this offseason by the Cavs, in my opinion, is Darius Garland. Now, if you remember, right before the draft, news came out that the Suns approached the Cavs. Yeah, that's right. The Suns came to the Cavs proposing a KD for Darius Garland trade. Yeah, actually happened. Look it up. I'm not capping. You know me. I don't cap in these videos. Now, obviously, the financial situation wouldn't have lined up. So, yeah, it wouldn't have worked unless the Cavs made some other moves first to create space for KD's enormous salary. And I'm kind of glad it didn't happen because I don't know how I would have felt seeing the Cavs trade away a promising young point guard for a 37-year-old player who's kind of on the downswing. Right? He's just starting his downswing. He's not washed, but he's kind of starting to trend that way over the next couple of years. Now let's talk about my bold targets for the Cavs. Now, the most logical bold target is Larry Nance Jr. for obvious reasons, right? He's a Cleveland guy. I think he lives in Cleveland in the offseason or something like that. I saw an Instagram post a while back, I think, where he was in Cleveland. I think he still lives in Cleveland in the offseason. But I know he likes Cleveland. He loves Cleveland. And I know he would love to come back. But would he be willing to potentially take the vet minimum to play here? I mean, he loves Cleveland so much, I'm sure he would be willing to, especially for the chance to win a ring. But I think to get Larry, we would have to trade probably Dean Wade and maybe even Max to get him, I think. If he wouldn't come here for the vet minimum. At least we'd have to trade Dean to open up space for him. Next, I'm going to go Chris Boucher. Now, I think he's going to want a decent sized contract, but again, the allure of playing for a ring might be worth taking a little extra less. A little extra less. A little less on the money side. Take a little pay cut to go play for a ring, right? Be down, but I think Chris Boucher is going to want a good contract to hold him down, right? So, again, I think to get his services, you would have to probably trade Dean and or Max to get around his number, in my opinion. The next boldest target, in fact, the boldest of all, DeAndre Ayton. Now, it's funny because we say Jarrett Allen is soft. Well, you go on Twitter and you see what people are saying about DeAndre. People are saying he's the softest center in the league. And in order to get his services, because we know damn well he's not going to take the vet minimum, you would probably have to trade Dean, Max, or Jarrett Allen, and God forbid DG. Any of those four you probably have to trade to get him. Right? But yeah, I think he would be an interesting addition. And I think playing for a contender again would maybe harden him up a bit, right? Turn him into a dog again. Because trust me, it's in there. He's got that dog in him. He can be such a force in the paint. But I think playing for a bad team just took it out of him. We'll see though. But I wouldn't mind him for the right price. But I just don't see it happening. But now we go to the logical targets. And you guys are going to laugh at this one. The most logical target for me, believe it or not, is none other than old man Al Horford. Nothing would be weirder to me than seeing Al Horford in the wine and gold after he's been an op for so long. Since he came into the NBA, he's essentially been an op. Cavs fans have gone at his family for years, especially, I think, his sister, Anna Horford. Yeah. She's been a legendary op for Cavs fans on Twitter. And it would just be weird as hell to see Al Horford in the wine and gold. It'd be up there with Dwayne Wade. Remember that? Or Derrick Rose. People would be adding him in a Cavs jersey to those washed athlete edits on TikTok and YouTube and Twitter. You know what I'm talking about, those washed athlete edits that they be making, right? Yeah, he'd be added to that for sure. Now, my next most logical target for the Cavs is Day'Ron Sharpe. Yeah. He just, I believe, had his option declined. He's a free agent. And man, I would love to see the Cavs bring him in. Right? I think he would be a solid backup big behind Jarrett and Evan. And I think he could get buckets as our third big man. He'd be better than what we have now. That's for damn sure. Next, I'm going to go B-Ball Paul. Yeah, Paul Reed. I wanted the Cavs to get him last year. But of course, he went elsewhere. So I think for the right price, I think the Cavs would love to bring him in. And it'd be cool to have him on the squad. Next, I'm going to go Thomas Bryant. Much like Al Horford, he can shoot the three. And he's a solid big man that could protect the rim and get buckets. Right? And also, one more thing about Al Horford. That dude has cooked us so many times over the years, I can't even count them on my hands. I'd have to use my feet. Both feet. I don't even know if I'd be able to do that. I can't tell you how many times I've seen old man Al Horford just go nuts on us from three. He's actually a pretty damn good three-point shooter, too. Low key, same thing with Thomas Bryant. I wouldn't mind him at all, to be honest. Next, I'm going to go Trey Lyles. Yeah. I didn't even know he was a free agent until I started doing research for this video. And I was like, oh, Trey Lyles is a free agent? That's the kind of guy the Cavs would sign. He'd be a stretch 4, big man, small ball 5. He'd be solid, I think. Next, I gotta go Bol. Could you just imagine real quick? Lonzo Ball lobbing to Bol. The ball to Bol connection. Haha, I would love that. Bol. Yeah. He's a great shooter, but unfortunately, he just really hasn't had a whole lot of playing time lately. And I think coming here to be our third big, I think he'd benefit greatly from it. Playing alongside Evan and Jarrett, playing with our guards and DeAndre Hunter. Hey, man, that'd be lit. Like a second team unit of Lonzo, probably Tyrese, I'd assume, or CPJ, or Sam, Dre, and then Bol out there. Because, they got to have DG or Donovan out there almost at all times. So you could see let's say, DG, Lonzo, Dre, Evan, and Bol. That's a pretty interesting 5. Not going to lie. Now we get into the guys that are kind of out there, but I wouldn't hate it if they, signed with us. The first one being Precious Achiuwa. Bless you. Damn. Wait. Could you imagine me doing that 82 games a year plus? Man, y'all would get sick and tired of it by the second quarter of game 1. Damn. Right? Of course, playing with New York, he didn't really play much. He was really good in Toronto. That's for sure. And honestly, I think we could unlock the best out of him with our second unit. Right? He'd be a great stretch 4. You put him out there with Jarrett Allen, right? That'd be great for us, I think. Next, I'm going to go Jericho Sims. He's the guy that you signed late in the offseason to fill one of your final roster spots, and he could get the job done when called upon. He ain't no bad center at all. But I just don't know if we would actually sign him. And then we get into, the guys that I just don't see us going after. First one being Clint Capella. I mean, I am seeing washed allegations on Twitter. He's dealt with injuries. He's good, but he's old. And then we got Kevon Looney. He's not bad, but I think he's probably going to go back to Golden State. If I'm being honest, he loves it there. And it would just be weird seeing him in a different jersey. But he would have he would also have, I believe, a fellow UCLA Bruin in Lonzo. So there's that. But also you'd have to deal with Evan Mobley being a Trojan. I gotta love college rivalries, right? And then finally, I had to put Marvin Bagley out there. Because this would be the most off-the-wall signing ever by the Cavs. He'd be like Taco Fall a few years ago. If you're going to bring in Marvin Bagley, you might as well just bring back Tristan Thompson. Right? That would be the most off-the-wall signing by the Cavs. Straight up. Out of nowhere. Right? He'd be a good player to fill your last roster spot, though. So, yeah, those are my trade target, or my trade and or free agent. Cavs trade targets, guys that we could trade out, and then free agents that we could sign. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And as always, let's go Cavs. I'm Crazy Dog. Be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and hit that bell. Especially hit the bell. Free agency starts today at 6. If any rumors come out, I'll have a video for it. You already know. But I'm Crazy Dog. Let's go Cavs. And I'll see you guys later. Possibly today. We'll see. I'm out. Bye-bye. Yeah.